With elections around the corner, there is a renewed call to pass a law banning political dynasties. In a petition filed earlier this week before the Supreme Court, it stated the 1987 Constitution's clear prohibition of political dynasties. Petitioners say 4 decades have gone by, but Congress failed to pass an enabling law to support it. Let's get on point with Kabataan Party List Representative Raul Manuel and UP College of Law Professor Dante Gatmaytan. Gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to the show and thank you so much for your time.
Good evening po, Ms. Pinky.
Umpisahan na natin dito. Siguro maraming nagtataka. Di ba nasa Constitution siya, 1987 Constitution, na bawal ang political dynasty. Pero palagi nating naririnig, kaya lang walang enabling law. So, let's dig deeper into this. Article 2, Section 26 of the 1987 Constitution says, the state shall guarantee, ito po yun, equal access to opportunities for public service and prohibit political dynasties. Ito yung problema, as may defined by law. Ito po yung tinatawag nilang kailangan ng enabling law, no, Congressman, Professor?
Yes, exactly.
That's it, no? So, while the Constitution, to me, is clear that political dynasties are disallowed, it is also clear na kailangan po ng batas hinggil dito. The problem is, no law has been passed in the past 4 decades, or almost 4 decades since 1987. But, a glimmer of hope, because you filed a bill in the 19th Congress regarding this. Let's talk about that, Congressman Manuel. Go ahead.
Na-file po natin ang House Bill 1157. Isa po yun sa mga unang final talaga natin nung day 1 ng ating term. Kasi nakita natin as a youth representative, marami ring mga kabataan gusto sanang mag-serve, no? Be part of public service. Kaso nahirapan sila dahil sobrang entrenched ng mga political dynasty sa ating bansa. So I think for us to move forward as a country, kailangan meron na talagang pagtigil doon sa pag-proliferate ng ganitong sistema. Kaya yun, final natin yung bill. Kaso, syempre, knowing yung current composition ng Congress, no, with all due respect to my colleagues, kaya kita natin sobrang matagal bago talaga, kahit i-agenda man lang sa committee level, yung House Bill natin.
So, anong status niya? Hindi pa na-agenda?
Hindi po at all.
Okay.
Natutulog yung bill natin.
So, mukhang matutulog siya hanggang matapos ang eleksyon, ano? It seems that that will be the case. Professor, why are we faced with this kind of problem? I mean, it is the obvious, but I'd like you to be the one to state it for the record.
I think the framers of the Constitution had trouble defining what a political dynasty is. Kaya ang nangyari, they left it to Congress at a future time to enact a law that would prohibit it. But the discussions really were really about giving everyone a chance to participate. Yan yung first sentence nung provision na binasa nyo. And as Commissioner Monsod said, we underestimated the greed of the politicians.
Well, which actually I wanted to go there because baka po may nagtataka, ginawa na, kayo na po yung framers ng 1987 Constitution. Sila po, inilagay na po nila itong Article 2, Section 26 ng 1987 Constitution. Sana ho, binuo na para wala na tayong problema ngayon. In hindsight, do you think people like Attorney Christian Monsod are saying that dapat tinapos na natin to? No?
I'm sure they're thinking that. But I think yung time na yun, they were also under a lot of pressure though, kasi may political instability, may mga coup attempts, and they just had to pass the Constitution as soon as they could.
So, ano ang definition? I think kailangan kasi ma-define ano ang political dynasty, Congressman. Ano dun sa bill niyo ang definition nito?
Sa na-file po natin na bill, ang political dynasty ay yung magkakamag-anak up to 2nd degree, whether consanguinity man or affinity. So, ibig sabihin kasama dyan yung mag-asawa, mag-ama o mag-ina, hanggang yung magkapatid, ganyan, within the same city or province.
So, okay, example.
Yes. Halimbawa po, kapag merong tatakbo na sabay po sila, like magkapatid, no? Kasi hanggang 2nd degree pasok yun. If they run within the same area, ganyan, makakonsider sila ng political dynasty.
Ang 2nd degree ba magkapatid? Ano ba ang 1st degree at anong 2nd degree?
Yung 1st degree po, halimbawa, kung mag-ama or mag-ina, ganyan. So, sila ay bawal under our bill kasi yun first degree and second degree, hindi pwede dapat na sabay silang tumakbo at mag-hold ng position.
Okay. Pagka magkapatid, yun na yung second degree.
Second degree
Oo,
magkapatid.
okay.
Oo. Yung maglola at maglola, second degree din po yun.
Magano?
Maglolo or maglola.
Maglolo at maglola. Okay. And that is also prohibited doon sa
Yes,
inyong
doon
bill.
sa bill natin.
Basta pareho kayo ng lugar na that you're running in the
Yes.
same, let's say, congressional district, for
Aha,
example.
aha.
So, sabihin po natin, si Mayor, si Mr., si Vice Mayor, si Mrs. O si
Ah.
Mayor, si Mr., si Councilor, si anak.
Yeah.
Bawal din yun.
Yung isang example din po, kung hindi man sabay natatakbo, halimbawa, sa same position, yung papalit ay, yung nagpo-fall sa first or second degree, bawal din po yun. Kasi ang
Kahit na graduate na siya.
halimbawa po, lalabas yung isa, like, malilimit na yung term,
Parang
tapos
gusto mo
papalitan.
gusto mo mag-identify na politiko. Okay, so may mag-graduate na mayor, for example.
Yes,
Ang
yes.
papalit, ako na magsasabi, kunwari, anak.
Yeah,
Bawal
yeah.
yun.
Oo, kasi yung gusto nating i-prevent,
napaka-strict.
yung nagagamit yung posisyon, yung government resources, na-witness po natin ito, even in the current elections, di ba, na yung kanilang posisyon, halimbawa, it also comes with the government programs, ganyan, nafe-favor yung kanilang kamag-anak para mas mataas yung odds na yun yung papalit sa kanila.
I'm just going to do a follow-up, Professor, before I go to you. Paano dun sa mga sinasabi ng mga politiko na, but you have choices. Nasa botante naman yan, kasalanan ko ba kung gusto pa nila akong iboto o yung aking kapatid o anak o asawa? Anong sagot mo dun?
Yeah. Ang paggamit kasi ng kung ano daw yung gusto ng tao, kasi yung mga tao naman bumoto, pero yung mga nagkiklaim kasi noon na galing din sa mga dynasties, they tend to forget na noong 1987, bumoto na yung tao against dynasties kasi hindi naman masasama yung ganong provision sa konstitusyon natin if the people, in essence, want dynasties. Kaya dapat lang na mapigilan talaga siya kasi kung hayaan natin, sobrang magiging clash of clans na lang sa bansa natin. Parang we just vote for the surname, hindi na doon sa ano yung kakayahan talaga ng tao na magsilbi.
And Professor, is that what you're seeing right now?
Yes, it's escalated. No? Pag, you remember the day we started filing COCs, entire families came out without any shame. No? And we are all running for various positions. And that's one of the reasons why we filed the petition, because we think the climate has changed for the worse. You know, so,
Is this the worst that you've seen so far?
yes, yun na. Plus pati yung party system, which was originally designed for marginalized groups, no, is being infiltrated by political dynasties. Meron silang mga representatives doon sa sa party system. So it's horrifying how politics is developing.
The question is again, balikan po natin, kailangan po kasi ng enabling law eh. So someone like Congressman Manuel, they filed a bill in the 19th Congress. It doesn't seem like it's going to see the light of day because it hasn't even been agendad. Hindi pa na-agenda rather. What are the chances for the Supreme Court to actually rule on something like this? Why? I ask because of the separation of powers among the three branches of government, the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. Can the Supreme Court command or compel the legislative branch of government to establish or make an enabling law to support this provision in the Constitution banning political dynasties?
We think we can. I think rather we think the Supreme Court can. Kasi meron namang mga kaso where the Supreme Court orders another branch of government to perform its duties. Kahit naman discretionary duties. Kasi normally, pag ministerial lang, yung mga walang iniisip, just follow the law, madali yun i-command. Pero in rare cases, the Supreme Court has said, we can tell you to perform your discretionary function, but hindi namin sasabihin kung paano mo gagawin.
Aha.
So meron ding cases that support our strategy.
It'll guide you, but it will not tell you exactly what to do.
It will tell you what to do, but not how to.
But not how to do
yes.
it. And you're obviously hoping that would be the case.
Yes.
Congressman, what about you? Do you think that's a bit of a stretch?
Isa
Quite
po ito sa
honestly.
isa na rin to sa mga hopefully ay makapag-touch ng conscience ng ating legislative branch, lalo na tingin natin talaga long overdue na mapasa itong panukalang batas. Kung hindi agad makita ng chambers ng Congress na dapat itong gawin agad, yung nudge from Supreme Court can actually help na masimulan yung discussions kasi nung past Congresses na as I recall 17th Congress, nasimulan din naman nila hanggang committee level, hindi nga lang natapos. So it means kung gugustuhin naman talaga na pag-usapan, tingin natin kaya.
Sigurado, kung talagang may suporta to, madaling maipasa.
Yeah.
Kung may suporta. I read something that in the past, because again, we're talking about the 1987 Constitution, there have been over 30 anti-political dynasty bills filed in both houses of Congress. Would you have any idea, gentlemen, on how far this reached? Congressman Noel was saying committee level lang. Hanggang dun lang sa iyong pagkaalam.
Nakapaglabas ng committee report, pero hanggang, kasi after the committee report, it goes to second reading, kung saan sa plenary na siya. Yun, hindi na natapos doon. Kaya yung
Hindi napunta sa
best
second reading?
Hanggang it went to second reading, ibig sabihin na simulan siyang sponsor, ganyan, mapag-usapan. Pero yun, hindi na siya nakalagpas doon.
When was that?
Kaya best niya na ay yung committee level. Yun.
I see. What about you, Professor?
I've never heard of anything that went by.
Ito na ata yung
Yun na ata.
pinaka advanced na inabot ng political dynasty bill. All right. Again, so because this was part of the 1987 Constitution, I know this, and I don't mean to be sarcastic about this. Is it when you file a petition before the Supreme Court, can that number of years, that 4 decades of no law has been passed, can that be used? I mean, is there such a thing as it's long overdue? Or mag-e-expire na to, 40 taon na at hindi pa rin nagagawa? Pwede ho ba yun?
Yes, but what we're saying is Congress has abandoned its duty. Plus, na we should revisit yung mga other Supreme Court decisions that say we cannot interfere because of the way our politics has developed. Iba na yung situation ngayon, and iba na yung situation nung sinasabi na dati na you cannot compel or tell Congress what to do. So we're hoping na yung mix nung the constitutional basis plus yung development ng politics will be enough to get the court to think about the issue a little harder naman.
And then you wonder why 2 former Supreme Court justices are part of this group that filed the petition, namely retired Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio and Justice Carpio Morales, also the former ombudsman. Sila po ay parte nitong petition that you filed before the Supreme Court, basically telling the Supreme Court, please tell Congress to pass a bill. That's basically it, right? Yes.
So, taking framers, di ba? I mean, si Christian Munsod.
Attorney Christian Munsod.
As a coalition, we think that my point kami to say na I think it's time for the court to do something, to do its part.
You know, there's been, I think, 2 rulings by the Supreme Court. I think one is the Supreme Court and probably one was the COMELEC. I'm going to discuss that after the break because basically in that ruling of the Supreme Court, it was Gingona versus the House and the Senate, if I'm not mistaken. The Supreme Court ruled that it can't compel Congress to pass a law. Let's talk about that after the break with Kabataan Party List Representative Raul Manuel and UP College of Law Professor Dante Gatmaitan. Stay tuned. This is On Point.